Hey you guys, welcome back to Mayfield Ranch. I'm Katie and today I'm going to take you on a quick tour of our garden. So today I'm going to take you on a quick tour of our garden. It's the end of July. Again this week, Gary and I have been so busy at the rental that we've really kind of neglected the garden. I'm out here super early in the morning. I'm going to get a couple things harvested and I thought I would hang out with you guys while I do it.
Okay, you guys, we're out here in the animal garden, and for the most part, things are looking pretty good. Peppers are growing really nicely. Our spaghetti squash growing up on that trellis, it's still growing. It's producing squash, and it's got another big flower.
Okay, so if you guys can see here, some of these chilies are turning red, so I definitely want to get those.
So the peppers are growing really well out in our garden. They're doing so good. We've got a huge variety of peppers, and so there's plenty for me to harvest out here. They're growing really good. I'm just getting a few things harvested this morning so I can try to make use of them. Like I said, Gary and I have been at the rental for about a week and a half now, and it's just taking up all of our time. And typically we're out in this garden pretty regularly just to check on everything, and we haven't been doing that so much this week. I did want to share my little pepper harvest here. So this is the first year that I've grown bell peppers that have actually grown to a pretty good size. I've grown bell peppers for several years and they're always so tiny when I harvest them. So I'm pretty excited to be getting these huge bell peppers. The ones you guys are seeing me harvest here are actually not even as big as the ones I harvested about a week ago. They were huge. They looked really good. So I'll definitely be growing bell peppers again. I've always kind of tended to stick to Anaheim peppers because I could just grow those better. But this season's harvest of bell peppers has put the past years to shame. So I'll definitely be growing more bell peppers in seasons to come.
Let me give this one to the animals. I don't know what's all over it.
So I definitely have more peppers that really aren't producing quite yet. So a bunch of hot chilies, hot peppers that we really don't have much on yet. They're pretty small. There is more though on this side that we need to harvest. So these are some ahi pineapples in the back there that are turning red. So we need to harvest those. And to the right over here in the corner, there's a sugar rush peach plant. So we'll harvest that too. So first I'm gonna grab some of these red ahi pineapples and we'll get them in the house and wash them off and we can taste them and see what they're like. This is the first year growing these. So we will see if we like them. This plant is just loaded with fruit though. So hopefully we like it because it looks like it's producing really well for us. So here's that sugar rush peach plant. And I've been watching these little guys change colors and I'm not exactly sure when I should be harvesting them. So maybe I'm taking these a little too soon. I'm not sure. It seems like it's taking forever for them to change color. But I do see some that have a little bit of a peach color to them. So I'm gonna grab these and we're gonna take them in and try them out. You guys let me know. If you guys are experts on the sugar rush peach, let me know if I'm harvesting these too early. Do they look perfect? What am I doing here? Am I doing the right thing? Okay, next, we've got some of our bush beans growing. So I came out and planted these kind of late and they're growing. Our squash there, it's got some dead leaves on it. So let me tell you what happened. So like I said, we've been so busy. We've been out of the garden. We came out once and one of the pipes was disconnected. So the water was kind of overflowing to the ground and not watering our raised beds. So we suffered a little bit, but it'll be fine. Mama's calling me. She thinks I forgot her. So I came out in the garden super early this morning, around 5, and I didn't feed her first. So she's letting me know that she sees me and she'd like me to bring her breakfast. So here's our Malabar spinach and a cucumber bed. The Malabar spinach is starting to take off. It's still a little bit small. I would expect it would grow all the way up that trellis. And then in this side, we've got a lot of Delicata squash. There's just weeds everywhere. There is something for me to harvest, but I definitely need to find some time to get out here and try to tackle the weeds in this squash bed because we love the squash. We want to get more of it. Now here are the rattlesnake green beans. So if you guys watched the video from earlier this week where I harvested it, you saw me get quite a harvest of green beans. Let me show you how the donkeys take a little snack from my green beans. They just reach right up. So it looks like they can reach about a foot or so into the yard and take a little snack whenever they want it. But that's fine. They're really cute, so they can have anything they want around here. And this yellow squash here, it's in our ground garden, so there's mostly weeds kind of around it, but the squash plants are doing fine and they are producing. Here is the inside of that trellis. So we've got our cantaloupe and then a spaghetti squash and then the tomatoes on the left side here. Our cantaloupe is starting to produce, not ripe yet, not ready to pick, but we've got some going. Now here's our raised bed in a different area. I did pull out all the onions, so I've got a little space here to do something with. There's my lemon cucumber, so it's healthy and doing really well. And then this bed, I pulled out all the onions also, but it looks like the sweet potatoes have basically taken over all the space that the onions were using. So hopefully they'll end up working out really well. I do want to harvest this tomato here. I'll give that to my dad because it's not ripe and he'll like it. This is the onion harvest I got. It was kind of mixed. Some are a little small. Some are pretty good size though. And then our garden that we have in pots. The tomatoes are doing well in pots, and the eggplant is actually doing really well in this little grow box. So there's one big eggplant in the back here on that second plant, but there's several little babies that are just getting started. And if you can see in here, we're actually growing squash right here. They're pretty small, but they're good. Tomatoes, I don't think they're faring so well in these small grow boxes. That's a lemon cucumber, and then some cilantro right there that's still super tiny. A really good producer this year has actually been this Buena Mulata. So I have one in the raised garden beds and then one over here in this pot. The pot's producing great and they're a really cool color. So if you haven't tried them, you should definitely put that in your garden next year. Let's check out the backyard garden. So the squash is just growing like crazy up over the trellises. Everything's looking pretty good here. This squash, I need to get some of these dead leaves trimmed off of it. And peppers are doing good. This bed is full of peppers. Nothing's really quite ripe there, ready to pick. Our tomatoes, we also had a little watering issue here where something got disconnected. We're typically checking every day, so we just had a little bit of bad luck that we missed it. There's an Armenian cucumber that we got to harvest. It sure got pretty big before we got a hold of that. But for the most part, things are doing okay. I've got some tomatoes. I need to do some more trimming. Let me show you these peppers over here. Those are cucumbers, and then I have some peppers. So we've got a couple of super hot peppers. They're not ripe yet, but they're there, so that's super exciting. And then these are the long beans that are just growing up that trellis. So more green beans. Our little watermelon plant there. We have one watermelon left on it, so hopefully that will ripen up and do good. More peppers here in this bed. We've got some jalapenos and other kinds of peppers. That's a cucumber plant that's doing well that I started, and that's a giant banana squash that's growing. Here's my little setup. I have kind of my basket. I've got the eggs and a variety of stuff in my basket. Now I love this little basket. My mom got this for me because I can fit the colander right in it and just carry everything together. So we do have one more cherry tomato on the left, and then on the right there's a cherry tomato, and I also planted a couple of the lemon cucumber seeds there. Hopefully they'll grow up the trellis a bit and we'll see what we end up with. Ready, Remington? Let me see. Let's go. I'm gonna go in the house. I hope you guys enjoyed this garden tour. We encourage you to grow right along with us. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next video.